Tamara here, nice of you to join me, and a very warm welcome to my channel. It's lovely to have you here with me today. And in today's video we are going to be making the wardrobe and the double album project that I've shown on my channel recently as a walkthrough, and the overall census was that you wanted a tutorial, so here it is. So in this video we will be doing the main structure, so we'll be making up the wardrobe and everything like that, and then we'll carry on to the albums on the next couple of videos. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and comment and like. So thank you to all my subscribers already. It's really appreciate it. There is a PDF cutting guide as always that you will be able to download, which will be in the description box down below. You might need, if you're on a mobile, you might need to click on the little tiny arrow to bring that menu up, and it's at the bottom there. So let's get started. So I've got my pieces here. So what I will do is I will go through sets. So I'm going to start with the overall structure, and then we'll add the inside part to it. Okay, so we'll do that first and then we'll go on. So if I give you the measurements for the main structure, so it'll be these here. Base 1, and that is 6 1/8 by 8 inches. Then the back is 6 1/4 by 11 inches. Then we've got the sides, and you'll need 2 of these at 11 by 8. Okay, so we start with the base. So we have the base there, and then we'll need the back. So I'll put the back sort of there, but for some unknown reason I seem to have, yes, it goes like that, and then the sides, they will fit on like so. Now the reason the back is a little bit bigger is that it's going to be hidden by the sides here. Okay, I thought for a moment, oh no, I've cut it wrong, but I haven't. So we'll start with putting the 2 sides on. Now if you have got the little box clamps from Craftella, these are going to come in really handy to do this project. If you don't, you can just use tape to help you keep your structure together. So start with your tape. So I always roll out a little bit and then hang the extra roll off the side of my desk. Now it's because I craft standing up that I can allow to do that, but you can do it if you're sitting down. So just burnish that well. Now I am going to just cut off. Right, I'll show you there because I was probably out of shot. All I've done is just chop off that tape, so it's running flush with your baseboard here, and do the same with this side, because what you don't want is you don't want to have any of that tape interfere with your joins. So you could just give it a slight mitre, would help as well, just a slight one like that, and it will just make your joins safer, neater. Now I'm trialing some. Oh,
do you want to open it?
No, thank you.
You have Tell Lord Vader enabled. Do you want to open it?
No. I don't know where she got that from. Right, so I'm trialing this new glue, and it's called Magic Glue. It's a puzzle glue. It's a Polish glue, and it's really good because it's got this nozzle you can get quite precise of where you're putting your glue. Now the reason I've got black tape around my one is I'd forgot to put my lid on, so my nozzle clogged a little bit, but I squeezed and squeezed and squeezed and it popped everywhere, so all the glue came out the top. So to try and save it so that I didn't have to throw the bottle away, I've sort of taped it. I've done like a little you know, tape up job on that. So getting back to our project, so one of the sides, now we are putting the side, so the side, this edge here is going onto the sticky tape on the bottom, and you're going to put it as near to that base edge as you can. Okay, trying to get the corners here lined up as much as possible. Once you're right, I tend to just flip it over very carefully so that the tape that was on the bottom there ends up sticking to the top then of your side here. Okay, so I'm going to lay that down for a second. Do not fall over like that. Bring in my tape again. Oh, don't worry, it will go back. So getting my tape again and putting the other side of your base down, and we'll just chop that bit off there as well, like so. Let me just chop this bit off. There we go, just there, like so. Okay, so this is where then our clamps are going to come in a little bit handy. So I'm going to just place that on there. Now that will keep that nice and steady for me. There we go. I'm just making sure I've got it in the right place. So that board going over like so. That's it. Okay, so bringing in your other side and your glue, just going to glue down that edge like so. Get your side, and again do exactly the same thing. Line up them two corner edges, push it together, push it down onto that tape, and then just slide it over like so. And then if you've got your clamps, you can clamp that on like so, making sure I've got it in the right slots. There we go. Excuse me, this is all sticky tape on here and I can't get it off. It is stuck. I need to get some alcohol on that. So with them all nice and stuck down, I'm just going to lay it down like so, because now we're going to put the back on. Now the back fits onto the edge of your two sides and the base, so it kind of goes, let me just move that out the way, like so. So it just sits on the top, it sort of balances on the top, and then it will hide them edges. Okay, so with your glue, we're just going to put a dab our glue on, or do a line of glue, however you put your glue on, like so. Just smooth that out, and then we're just going to place it on. So once you've got one on, go ahead, and I'm going to tape put some tape along there just to hold that in position. So put my just some little tabs just to hold that in place. That's looking good actually. My corners are nice and square, which is what I love, what we need. And it's all nice and neat. That's it. Right, so now we've got a choice. Now, oh, do you know what I did forget? I forgot to do, which I said to myself I wasn't going to forget. We need to draw a line, a 1 inch line along the top and a 1 inch line along the bottom. Now it would have been quicker to have done it when it was not made up, but never mind, these things happen. And I'll do one on the other side as well. So can you see there I've drawn that 1 inch line here. So I'm going to do that. I can't do it along the back because I can't get my ruler in there. I've got my ruler's too long. So I'm just going to put some little marks and then use those as my guide. So come along this side, like so. So there's my second line, and then you need to do it along the top as well, but that one's a bit easier. That's one. Come along and do this side. Okay, and then just use that as your guide. So what I'll do is I'll just line them up as we put them in. But before we do that, I want to edge now my edges. So I'm going to edge the top, and then I'll go round and do the next lot. So I kind of like put my tape on so it's actually on the side of my grey board, not on the edge of it. And I'm just going to bring my tape around like so, snip that bit off. So I've got, it's just around the edge, can you see? Just snip that bit off there so it's level with my grey board. And then in the corners, so in these two corners here, I'm going to cut in at an angle to create a little triangle cutout. So I've cut it at an angle there, and I'm going to go into the point and cut the next part of that angle so that you create like a V shape. So let's take that off. Let's do the next one. So snip, snip, just take that part off, so you've that little bit there, and then we're going to push these down. So push them down, so fold it over. I always like to burnish the top so my tops are nice and straight, like so. Push that over like so, bring it round. Okay, push that over, and then that's one edge all done. Now if you've got creases like I have here, if you can see them, just get your Teflon tool or your bone folder and they will just burnish out. Okay, and then you'll get a nice smooth finish. So now I've done the top, so now I'm going to do this side here, so the front. And then that just creates a nice finish. Now don't worry if it's not even on the inside or the outside, because we will cover it so you won't see it. Now what I'm going to do on my inside is I'm going to paint it in black to save me from covering it, because it is going to be quite tricky to cover all the little tiny bits and the elements. So painting it is just a good alternative. But before we do that, I want to add my shelf supports for my top and my bottom, okay, before we then do that. So taking your 1/4 inch offcuts, don't worry too much about the length, because they are going to be cut down so they will fit. Now these are going to sit below your 1/4 inch mark line that you've drawn. So on both the top and the bottom, you're going to put these below that 1 inch line. Get your strip and just by eye it. Now I don't want it to go right to the edge, so possibly leave it so that you've got about a 1/4 inch gap between the edge here and your strut, your shelf support, because we don't really want to see that. And then the side that you've got that's quite flat, that if you've got one that hasn't got any that is the straight edge, we're going to use that on our shelf is going to sit onto. So put our glue on, okay, and then add it to below, okay, like so. Okay, stick it down. This glue's pretty quick, it does stick quite quickly. There we are. And then we can do the other side. It's going below. So get it so that you've got your about 1/4 inch taken off. If you want it so that it matches this side, just by eye it, but then maybe don't, if you've cut too much off, don't worry if you've not got enough this side. So put your glue on, go below, and then just push it down. Now for the back, again you might just need to by eye it, and this one you're not going to need to go all the way to the center, because we don't want we want to leave a little bit of a gap for where our divider is going to go. So just leave a little bit of a gap, okay? So I've just cut them down. These are probably about 3 inch, maybe just below 3 inches. That's going to go there. These ones are a little bit bigger. Oops. Too far down, so there, like so, and then these ones can go here, and as long as you've lined up the side here, the top where the shelf is going to go, there shouldn't be a problem. So line it up, and again you're not going to see this, so it's going to be okay. Just push that down a bit. There we go, like so. Now we can do this at the bottom as well. So get in your struts again. Now these ones are going to go below, because we're going to put the top on that, and then the plinth is going to come up here, so you're not going to see that very much, so we're not going to see it at all because it's hidden. So again, put your glue on your side, stick this. Now this one is going to be below the line, like so. So grab your next one and cut some off a bit. Put your glue, and again this is going below. Push that down. There we go. I've cut a little bit too much off that one, so let me just add a little tiny bit in. There we are. Okay, so I've got to this part. Now what I'm going to do before I paint is I'm going to add in our shelf, our bottom shelf. This is where our drawer's going to sit on, and then I'm going to add the plinth, because we don't really need to paint and down underneath there because we're not going to see it. So before I paint, I'm going to just add in a shelf support that's going to fit in the middle. Now this is an amendment because I've made one up previously and I realized that you need something here just to sit this shelf on to stop it from bowing. It doesn't bow an awful lot, but I think because I know it's there, it's irritating. So we're going to add this in. Now it will be in your kits if you've ordered one of the kits. But if you haven't and you're cutting these pieces out yourself, the measurement is 7/8 by 7 7/8, okay? And all we're going to do is just use some glue and we're just going to fit it in the middle. There's no measurements involved in this. All we need to do is just place it on. It's just to stop it, as I say, to stop that shelf from having a slight bow. So I'm just going to place it sort of there in between, and I'll add a little bit of glue on the edge there as well, on the back edge, and just put it in. Now when we put the shelf on the top, that will keep that quite sturdy. So for that I'm going to add my glue onto the shelf supports. Just run it along the edge there. And then I'm also going to add it onto the edge of the greyboard of the shelf, or the base, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to dot it on and then slide that in. So it's only on the 3 sides. So I might slide it in. There we go, like so. And then just hold it slightly, just push it in so that it starts to grip. Now again, what I tend to do is add a little bit of the glue, sorry, not the glue, the I always say it, the foundation tape, just onto the edges, just to give it that sort of stick. Just to help it while it's drying the glue. There we go. And we can wipe all these little notches off as well as we go. Okay, now that is near enough starting, that's near enough dry now. We need to add our extra supports now so that we can hold the shelf that is going to go across, that is going to sit our albums on the top of our wardrobe. So we need to draw our lines again. Now these are going to be from the top of the drawer, this base here. We need to draw our lines at 1.5 inches. Okay, so we need it to just rest on, let me bring it this way, you can see, rest it onto the top of the shelf. Get your pen or pencil. Mine's gone walkabout. And we're just going to mark our 1.5 inch mark. 1, 2. And then come around and do the same here. So I'm just going to draw our line straight down because this ruler is 1.5 inches. Okay, taking your extra struts. Okay, these struts here that are for the drawer, they don't need to go right to the edge of our wardrobe. Because this shelf is an inch shorter, you need to make sure these are an inch shorter as well. So these need to, the struts here need to be about 7 inches. Rather than going right to the edge. I kind of messed up there and I put mine to the edge, not realizing, so that we don't see them. So the support struts go below that 1.5 inch line. So glue. I can have so. Okay, before we stick in the shelves, we are going to need to paint the inside of our wardrobe. Now I've got some black paint here and I'm going to give my wardrobe inside 2 coats of black paint. That way I'm not going to get any patchiness in my painting. I'm also going to paint the shelves and I'm going to paint both sides of the shelves as well. That way, if you are looking at it from underneath, I'm not going to have any greyboard showing. It is all going to be blacked out. But I'm going to do that all before I stick it in, and once it's dry, I then will glue them both into place. Okay, so I've painted the inside of my wardrobe now, and what I've also done is I've glued in the shelves as well. Now I blacked them out or painted them on both sides of the shelf. Now this one you're not really going to see an awful lot of it because the drawer is going to be there, but I like my things to be quite uniform, so I've painted all the way round in there. It does make it easier if you stick your pieces in after you've painted though, so bear that in mind. Now I have missed some of the black paint on here. Now what I should have maybe done is edge them in my black tape before I stuck them in, but hindsight is a wonderful thing, so I'll tape them out shortly. So I've given mine 2 coats, so it's had 2 nice coats of black paint. Now any black paint will do. Acrylic, you could use paint like emulsion, that would work as well. So any black paint will do. Now what I may do is I might give mine just a clear coat of matte varnish, so that because this is black it will mark quite easily. So giving it a coat of clear varnish will stop that from happening, and won't make it waterproof, but it will sort of just help with the marking of the black paint. So while that's drying, I've also added a tape strut across the top here, just to keep this all in place so that it doesn't spring open while it's gluing dry. So it's just more of a support. So while that's doing, I thought that we would get on and do our drawer and our top, and then we can, while we've got the paint out, we can then paint the top inside, and if you want to paint the drawer, you can do. So with the drawer, we've got two long sides and two short sides, and you've also got a drawer front, which is here somewhere, which goes on later, and I think it might be that one. Yes, it is. So this goes on later. What it does is it hides the workings out of our handle. So, and also just gives us a nice flat finish on our box. So I don't think this is the right one because it's slightly bigger. So we'll find that out in a minute when we need to. So coming to put these together, now we are going to glue these on the outside again. So I always start with my long sides and put then the short sides on afterwards. So I'm going to just put down my tape. So again, I like to hang it off the edge of my table. I'll put one side on like so. I'm going to cut this off now because I don't need as much as that on. Get your glue and just run a bead of glue between the tape and your Greyboard. Okay, so it's just on that edge like so. I'm hoping that you can see that. I'll bring that up so that you can see. You can see I've done a bead of glue along there. So get in your sides. We're going to place it on that edge, push it up like so, and then once you're happy, pull that over and then stick the tape down on that other side. Okay, so as you can see, we've created like a right angle. Well, I would have done if it hadn't have sprung open. So I have created like a right angle, and when that starts to set, that will dry upright. So I'm just cutting some of this off. What I am going to do is cut it all off because I don't want it interfering with my corners. So cut that off as near to that edge as possible. There we go. And then if you've got the little box clamps, that could help just to keep that in place just while we're gluing. So that's one. So then we can do this next side here. So again, grab your tape. So grab your tape, half on the Greyboard, half off. I'm going to cut that off just there like so, and then I will cut it a bit nearer as we go, like so. Now these bits that you cut off you can use as a support when you come to when you're just leaving it to set the glue. Right, and put your bead along that line again, like so. Get your side and put that on as near to the edge as you possibly can. Push it up, push it down as well onto that tape, and then bend it over, and then you can stick that next side down. That side went on a bit easier, like so. I'm going to just chop that little bit off there, so I don't, as I say, want that to interfere with my corner. So grabbing your clamps again, Make sure that they're in the right holes. There we go. And then that stands up. Then you can put this side on, so then you can put the top on like so. So how I do that is I'm just going to add my glue to the edges of my drawer like so, and this is just going to be placed on the top. Now I will add a little bit of tape just to this to help it set. Okay, then the bit of glue that tape that I cut off, I'm just going to use that as a support. Again on this side, like so. Okay, so we now can go on to our last side of the drawer. So let me just move over a little bit. I always tend to migrate over to this side for some unknown reason. So get your glue, and again the same principle, the same thing, just dot the edges of that drawer and then put your top on, or your side should I say, more than your top. Just make sure that your top corners are level and they're not sticking up. Okay, so let me just get a little band there that we can use just as a support. Pull that apart, just making sure that is nice and tight. Okay, and then once that's dry, I will then go ahead and we'll edge it in our black cut tape. So onto the lid. We don't need the spines. I should have 4. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we are. So that's our lid. So the same principle with the lid. I'm going to start with the 2 long edges and then add these 2 onto the top. So I'll fast forward this little bit because you don't want to see me put the lid together again, because it's exactly the same as the drawer. So that's then the lid as well. So I'm going to let these dry because these need to dry before we start to paint them. Okay. Let's just add piece over there and a piece over this side, just to keep it taut while it dries, like so. Okay, we can put them away just to until they're dried. Okay, next what we need to do is add our plinth. So we're going to add our plinth. Now what I'm going to do is edge our sides with our tape. so that it looks the same all the way round. So let me just cut this bit off here, and I'm just going to add it half on, half off this side, and then we can do the smaller little sides as we go. Burnish it down. Do the next one, move it out the way. Like that. Cut that bit off. And then just bend it over. And then we can do the edges, and the edges won't be an awful lot. Like so. And you can miter these corners. Push that down, and then one more. Just chop those bits off, and then miter that like so, like so, like so, like so, and then push down, and then that's your plinth ready to go. So the plinth we're going to put goes along here. Now the reason for the plinth is that when we put our feet on, they need somewhere to adhere to. So that's, if we had that open, we wouldn't be able to put our feet on or use the feet that go up the sides. So if you've got feet that just fit on the bottom, then use those. You could use like little wooden knobs. They would look lovely as well, and so you wouldn't need the plinth. You could then maybe make that into a drawer if you wanted, but as I've got the feet that go up the sides, I need the plinth. So we're going to put our glue all the way around on the edge of our wardrobe, like so. I'm just going to smooth that off like so, and then add our plinth. Now, you will need to add just a little bit of tape just to the sides, just to help it to, you know, get stuck, and also it then does give a nice finish as well. Like so. And then I'll put some along the top there as well, and then that'll hide that gap, or that sort of join, more so than a gap. It's not a gap, it's a join. But what I've done is I've cut just a shorter piece, because then I can cut another piece that goes over the top, and then so, and then bring it down and forward, and then do the same with the bottom, but the bottom you can do it as a long piece. Like so. Bring it round, and I'm just going to put my scissors down where that join is, that point, sorry, where it curves over. I'm just going to put my scissors in that corner and then chop off about 1/8 of an inch, like that much. Do the same here. So push that one down and then chop off just that 1/8 of an inch triangle, and then bring that one round, and then that's your plinth on. raring to go. So next on our list will be the doors. So I think this is dried now, so I can take this off like so. Okay, now come with the drawers. Now let me find them. Not the drawers, the doors. Now we'll just check our drawer. There we go. Fits in there nicely. For our drawers, I said that again, didn't I? Sorry. For our doors that are going to go on the side here, like so. Now they're going to go so that they fit on the top of your plinth. Okay, that's how they're going to fit. Right, so with the doors, we're going to put the hinge on. So I put it onto my door, and you do the half on, half off again. Like so. And then get it into place. And sorry, just bend it over so that you've got the tape is bent back on itself, so you've got the sticky side facing upwards. Okay, and then you'll put your door on where you want it to go, line it up with the edges and sit it on top of this plinth. Okay, so when you're happy with the placement, you can then go ahead and push that other piece of tape over like so. Okay, so we're just going to cut this bit down the middle like so, and then I'll cut this bit down the middle as well where that point is, and I can bring that over and then over the other side. Okay, like so. So you've got your drawer on. Now before I'm going to put that one in. Before we decide we actually fit this in place, we need to put our other door on, so that we can get it so that they are literally together like so. Okay, so we've got them. That's not too bad. So get your tape again, half on, half off. Okay, bend it over so that you've got the sticky side up. Place your door on, make sure you've got it in the right place. Okay, I think that has got it. So I'm just going to take this bit off here. I wasn't happy with that there. We'll sort that out in a second. And we'll sort this bit out in a second. Like so. Okay. So open your doors up, and we're going to just put some tape on this side of the hinge. So measure it as best you can. Okay, and we'll start at one end like so, and then come up. So where you've got the shelf, just nick in with your scissors at to create a triangle again. Now you can either take that off, or you can just put it over the door, over the the shelf, but I'm going to take mine off, and then just push that down, and then that's going to create your nice hinge. Let me just take this bit off there. Okay, open that up. That's one, so that's one hinge. Okay, now do the same with this one. So again, bi-eye it, and let's push that like so. Put that on there, and then push it down. Create that triangle piece, and again, if you don't want it, take it off. And I'm going to cut this top bit off, but I'm going to miter those corners. I didn't do that on the other one, but I feel they needed it. There we are. Push them down, and then pull your drawers together. Okay, like so, and then that's your drawers. And when we put the lid on, moment of truth, please fit, like so, it's going to keep them lids together, but it's also, when we put the closure on as well, that's going to help keep them shut as well. So that's why they're a bit open at the moment. So what we can do now is I'm going to go ahead and just edge those edges in our black tape. Again, it would probably have been easier for me to have done it while they were on the ground, but as per usual, I don't do things the easy way. So once you've put the doors on, which are looking really good now, and the lid, when that goes on, that's going to sit on there like so, and keeps them all nice and secure and in place, and just adds a really nice feature. So that's our bottom, and then our drawer inside. So next, what we would do is, I would say your homework is to paint your inside of your lid if you want to. You don't have to. You can cover it in paper if you want to. Now, the reason I said paint it, now I'm going to paint, all I'm going to paint is my sides and about an inch down around the edges, because I am going to put some black card on the base bit, okay, because I need that to help cover the handle on the top. So that is what I will do with that. But before we do that, we should really edge these in our black, shouldn't we? And then that's them done. So I'm just taking off those little supports that we had, just pulling them off. Now you can keep them on, but I think mine are a little bit over the top, so that one's okay, and that one will be okay because I'm going to cover that round. Now I'm going to take that bit off, I think, and cut it, I think. I might as well take it all off now, it's come off. And the same with that one. Okay, like so. So we now need to just edge these again. Now I am going to edge with black around these as well, just because I think it gives it a bit more stability. So this time, instead of going right on the edge of your cardstock, we're going on the side. Okay, so it goes on the side. So this is going to go all the way round. Okay, like so. And then it'll just overlap a little bit at the end, like that. Okay, and they'll stick together. So these points, we're going to remember what we did before. We're going to miter them, so we need to chop in. I was just trying to, there we go. These scissors are so much better. So we're going to just create one little snip in the corner, like so, and then one side is going to go down flat, okay, like so, and then do the other end. So I'm doing the short ends first, and then these long ends that are left, I'm going to just miter that corner off, like so, like so, like so, and then we can go ahead and stick this down. So pull it towards you so that you create a nice bond, and it sort of cements all of the sides together, and then just give it a little burnish with your fingers. I'm going around on the inside as well, just to get that stuck. So that's that one side. So now we need to do the top. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go half on the side and half not on the side. So I'm just getting the same place. So there we go. So again, just come round like so. And then chop that bit off there and marry them up. Okay, like so. And again, chop into the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring one side over and burnish that side down, and then bring the other side over and burnish that side down. Okay, like so. And then these ones, just again miter that corner. It doesn't have to be a big miter, just a tiny one. Hang on, my corners decided to stick together. Okay, and come up there and then come over there, and that one as well. Okay, and then push over and secure down, and then push over this one and push down. Okay, like so. And then if you've got any bits that are a little bit creased, just give your bone folder and just iron them creases out. Like so. And I do along the tops as well. There we go. So then that's your lid near enough done. So bring in your drawer as well, because we need to do the same thing with the drawer. I'm going to go with it, I'm going to go with the drawer. So I'm going to go half on again, half off, and I'm going to go around this one side like so. So that will go down there. Bring that round. Ooh. Don't know if this will work. Okay, so that is one side. So again, with the little slits into that corner, it's like a little right angle that you've got there. And then what I'm going to do is bring the long sides over, and that side, and then mitre the little tiny sides. Just get that bow filled up. And again on this inside bit. 1, 2, bring them down. And then these sides can just go down, because you will cover those as we go. So just a tiny mitre on that, on there, on there, on there, and then bring that over, and then that's one side done. And then you can go ahead and do this side. I'm just going to clean my scissors. So again, we need to come this way, don't we? So I'm starting on the corner there. So I'm starting on the big side and coming round. It goes down. And then that bit I can cut off about there. Marry them up. And snip into those right angles, and bring the bigger one over. I'm going to just snip into the right angles on this side, and then I can bring that big one over like so, and then bring that down on the other side. That and that. Again with that side, and then bring those over. Now I'm not going to bother about doing these corners, because this side is going to be covered with the drawer front. So I'm just going to burnish out them creases. Okay, so then we've just got the tops of this side to do, and then we're done. So this side we can just put onto the top of the drawer, and like so, and like so, and then just push them down like that. And then this side, push that on, and that's just a bit too big, but we can cut that bit off like so. Push them down and push them down again. And then that's your drawer done. Now again, I'm going to paint the inside of mine. Again, like what I did with the what I was going to do with the lid. So just to add a bit of more paint in here, and I'll just show you, then you'll know for what to do with the lid. So all I'm doing is I'm going to just paint up the sides, and just about, although this is a bit more than an inch, I'm just going to go just along the bottom. I'm not going to cover it all because we don't need to, because I'm going to cover this with black cardstock. You're not going to see where I've not painted, but you will see the edges if I haven't painted the edges. So yeah, so that's why I need to do that. So I'm just painting that edge there. And up and in that corner. Now again, you don't have to do this. You can cover yours if you want to. I just thought it was I was saving more of my card stock rather than my pattern paper, rather than just trying to cover them all up when you didn't need to. And then when you put your draw file in there, it really stands out a lot more. So that's the lid, sorry, that's the drawer, and then we'll do the lid as well while I'm here. I've got this out. The next rule of business would be to maybe add our handle, but we're not just yet. We're just going to poke the hole. We're not going to put the handle on yet because we need to then cover this before we do that. So how I do that is that I just use my ruler and I go from diagonal corner to diagonal corner. I draw a little tiny line, and I go from the next size diagonal corner to diagonal corner, and I draw another line, and then that there is my center. Okay, so that's my center point. So that's where we're going to put our hole. Now make sure you hold your lid underneath, because if you poke through, you may then end up with breaking your lid. So make sure you support it underneath. So push that down and wind it around. Now the handles that I've got for this, I've had to use different little screws because the screws that came with the handle were so large that they didn't you screwed them up and the handle was up here, and so I've got some special little ones, but of course they are a little bit bigger, so you will need to just make your hole that little bit wider. So like that. So that's my hole. Okay, I think we'll leave it there for this particular video. The next video, what we will do is we will be putting on all the embellishments and covering the outside of our wardrobe. That with you will need to choose your pattern paper, because we will need to have that on before our embellishments can go on the top. So have a think about, before the next video, what pattern paper you're going to use. I've already decided what I'm going to use, but you're going to have to wait until the next video to see. So thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really does help, and give me a like and a comment as well. Love to read your comments. It all helps get my channel noticed and more out there onto YouTube. So thanks again for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because then you will be notified every time I upload a video. Thanks again for watching. Whatever you're doing and wherever you are in the world, please have a really good day. See you soon. Bye. Was that the bell, the door? Yes, it was. you can come in.
I didn't know like the other big dog.
No, that's okay.
How you doing?
I'm alright, thank you. It's best to check because sometimes he is out, but during the day I don't let him out. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's lovely, thank you.
2 more.
Oh, 2 more, lovely.
Yeah, I'll drive once.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, we're carrying them.
Oh no.
And this massive. What are the like police dogs called?
The like German Shepherds?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
A massive one of them came around the corner and like 3 other dogs came with it and I was like, oh no.
Oh.
And they literally chased me out the
Oh no, that's not good. Yeah, I've got a husky, but he's away during the day, and then I only let him out at night when I know that people aren't coming. So
Thank you.
yeah, lovely. Thanks ever so much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye bye.